Hi everyone, welcome. We're going to hold off for a moment until because I'm in an event, till they get me put in. So let's hop over here and try and find me. Sometimes I pull myself up and sometimes I can't. There we go. So when you hop on, say hi so I can welcome you. And I have to put these on so I can see the comments. Hi, Deborah. How are you? You're on later, huh? I think we're in the same event. Hi, Misty. Thank you, Misty. Welcome, everybody. This is What You Doing Wednesday. And this is a very fun event group. And if you don't belong, please join. It's a free group. You never know what you're going to see. So I think I've been on since the group started every Wednesday but one. And we've been doing a ton of sewing. So today we're not sewing. We're going to make a sheet though, and we're going to glue it together. So I thought I would give everybody a break from the sewing machine. Hi, Brandy. Welcome. Hi, Donna. So thank all of you for hopping on and watching. And maybe if I move this up here, I can see better. So I don't know, even my glasses, there's a glare in here today. And I don't know why, because my lights are always in the same position. So I'm using dishcloth, just a square, and I just curved the edges of it. And we are making a sheep. We're going to grunge this with coffee. I have some wool for his face and ears. He's going to have a jute tail. Hi, welcome. So thank you all. So we're just gluing this today. So it's going to be an easy, fun project. And he's going to be Americana. I found this ribbon in my stash when I was cleaning out all my ribbons. And it's a flag. It's on jute or burlap. So we're going to use this on the sheep's body. Oh, thank you, Deborah, for sprinkling me out. I appreciate that. So I have been collecting Spanish moss and drying it. And so if any of you want some, this is a couple months old, this bunch here. And it's still really soft. You know how Spanish moss is a mess? This does not turn into a mess. I don't know what the manufacturers do to it, but this does not turn into a mess. And it stays soft. I am shocked at how soft this is compared to what we buy. I mean, I've even returned bags of Spanish moss because it was a mess. And the last bunch I bought had leaves and sticks and all kinds of stuff in it. So I'm going to just glue this together, and then we're going to grunge it. I'm not using cinnamon or any spices. It's just coffee. So this is quick and easy. These will make nice bowl fillers. You can. I'm putting a hanger on mine, but you can leave that off and just throw it in a bowl or a tiered tray. Because we did on one of the pages, we did a tiered tray event. So, and I think I'm gonna use this because that puppy's been on for a while, so I don't end up getting burnt. Hi, Kay, welcome. Hi, Mary. I'm glad you're here. So I'm leaving an opening in the bottom for stuffing it. So I'm going to make sure this glue is really pressed into the fibers of the fabric. So when I go to stuff it, it doesn't come apart. So while that glue is setting up, lost my coffee. I just have it in a spray bottle and I'm just going to spritz it. Okay, there we go. A granule of the coffee must have been stuck somewhere. So I might have to brush this on because I think it is stuck in there. And I am making a patriotic sheep. So I'm just going to brush it on because a granule of the coffee is stuck in there, even though I strained it. That's odd. So I'm just going to brush it. So I'm putting, this is really strong coffee because I wanted it to be a little darker. And around the bottom, I'm making darker than the rest of it. Because he's been walking around the field and it's wet and he's muddy and we make up stories as we go along about our projects. So I'm just putting it on, no rhyme or reason, just spreading it out. So I hope everybody's had a good weekend, a good Mother's Day. We only have one child that lives close here. The other ones live, well, we have 3 in Pennsylvania, and then 1 is in Lower Georgia. So they sent me gifts. The one here took me out Monday for lunch and a pedicure, which was really nice. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. Hi, Brandy. So we are Georgia transplants. We had to get away from the snow. So if I pour that on, it's going to be really hard to dry. We never run out of coffee. This instant coffee, I get at Aldi's. I don't have the jar sitting here. It's a jar this size for like under $5. Then I use the jars for storage afterward. So I want the bottom to be darker. Okay. So I'll have to figure out how to get that unclogged. Hi, Jackie. Welcome in. I'm making a patriotic sheep. So most of the time, you're going to get fabric, something from me. Most of the time, it's sewing because that's mainly what I do. Welcome. So we're just going to dry this up. Hi, Denise. Well, there we go. If I stick this inside, it'll dry faster. Always have buttons. I have tons of buttons. Hi, Boom. So we're going to stuff this and then we'll finish drying it. So if I'm not following any of you, I think I am following everybody. But if not, I recognize a few names that I don't think I am. I'll go follow you. And I appreciate a follow back. So I think I've only missed one of these events since we started this group. And it's a very fun group. I enjoy it. So when you're stuffing something, if you roll it with your hand like this, this is upholstery fiberfill. It's just a different color. And it's more of a dense film or fiberfill. It doesn't have the sponge that the white does. So I bought that for a project I don't know how long ago, and I still have a little bit of it left. So I don't want it to be fluffy. I just want it to have some volume. Now I have put cinnamon inside with my fiberfill. People seem to like that when I was doing shows because it has a really good smell to it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. If I'm not following you, I'll go follow you. So for his legs, I am using little clothespins. Hi, Mary. I think I said hi to you already, but hi again. So we're just going to close up this bottom and pinch it together. Hi, Lynn. So he has parts of him that's drying. So we're going to set this aside and let that dry a little more while we paint our clothespins. These aren't the full size ones, but they're not the mini ones either. They're like the medium. And I'm not sure where I got these. I was trying to figure out what I was using for sticks this morning because I just came up with this morning. I didn't work on it yesterday. Hi, Colette. How are you? Because my brain was not functioning. I don't get many migraines, but boy, when I get one, it's awful. So I'm just using Nutmeg Brown from Apple Barrel. And I'm just putting just a coat all the way around. So up after me is art by Tammy Lassiter. So I'm the second presenter today. So I have made these a little smaller than what we're making now, and put magnets on the back, and the legs are clothespins so you can hang notes on them. So let's get some black to do the hooks. I am making a patriotic sheep, Lynn. Yeah, you can get Dollar Tree, Dollar General. They sell the small ones. I don't know where I got these, because about a year ago I quit doing crafts and started doing more sewing. That's where my passion is anyway, sewing. I do too. I used to use them all the time because I have a shoebox full of all different sizes, but I haven't used any for quite a while. I think I just paused there, didn't I? So this is just pieces of wool I have. We're going to glue it and stuff it too. So if I'm missing comments, I always go back and rewatch all of my videos. Hi, Tammy. Ooh. Well, that's number 2. Okay, let's stuff this. Hi, Sheila. We're making a patriotic sheep. So I just cleaned off my table this morning, and I put my forceps that I use for stuffing away, not thinking I needed them. Hi, Mona Lee. How are you? So the head I am stuffing firm. Hi, Barbara. Good morning. How are you? I wasn't sure how many of my normal followers could pop on because most of them are at work right now. So if you see this on replay, please put hashtag replay. Oh, thank you, Kay. I appreciate that. So Sandy and Misty, they are our hosts. Misty is Crafty Farmer, and Sandy is Burlap and Bling. And thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So if you're not following them, go give them a follow because they do a really nice job. Ooh. I know, Barbara. And this one, I'm making everybody in my family for Christmas a throw, a quilted throw. So I got all the fabrics for all of them in baskets sitting around here, either on the table or on the floor. Because I have to get my sewing done early. Because once August hits, that's my busy season for memory bears. So let's just move that stuffing in there around a little bit. Okay, so we're going to use this side. And I'm going to take the head, put it on a corner. So I think I'm going to angle it. Yeah, I think I'm going to angle it. Hi, Barb. That would be nice, Kay. Hi, Mimi. Ooh. So I just have some little ears made out of the black wool. I don't have a pattern for this. I just freehanded all of this today. So let's glue these on. And put one go in two different directions, giving a little personality. So for his face, I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush. This is Chalk Paint Sandstone by Waverly. Hi, Sheila. How are you? And I'm just loading that up. And I'm going to do a little bit of an oval. Hi, Jody. Hi, Patty. So we are making a patriotic sheep. And I just have some black that I'm going to put dots in his eyes. Right in the lower half. Oh, I do too. I think I've made sheep out of just about everything you can possibly make sheep out of, including Amazon bags. So, oops, I put that away and I still need it. So we're going to give him a little bit of a nose. Well, I had another paintbrush sitting here. And we're going to give him oval mouth. Just with the tip of the back of the paintbrush. If I don't put the lids on these, I knocked black off my table one time all over the carpet that was in that room. So now I always make sure I put the lids back on. This is a paint marker that's dried up, but it has a really fine point on it. So I use it when I need just a little bit of red or just a little bit of color on something. And I'm just going right around the bottom part of his mouth. Just add a little bit of red to it. It's dried up, so I don't know why I keep putting the lid back on. It's habit. So we're going to take his feet. And we're going to glue those on. Just push them right up over top of the fabric. So if you wanted to make this into a magnet, I wouldn't put the glue on the inside. I would put it on one of the flat sides. And then you can hang notes on it. So that's what we have. Whoops. Picked up the Spanish moss. That's what we have so far. And I'm taking a little bit of Spanish moss and I'm putting it on the top of his head. Just to give him a little bit of poof up there. Thanks, Sheila. Thanks, Tammy. Oh, Jody, that cold that's going around is awful. So many people have it that I know. Yesterday, I thought I was getting it, but mine ended up being a migraine. I have a bow made out of jute that I'm going to put right at his neck. I'm looking at one I made this morning so I can get both of these the same. Put some more glue under his chin. Yeah. Ooh, that one hurt. So I have this burlap flag. And I don't remember ever using this for anything. But it has, whoops, that's not going to cut. It has sealed edges. So it doesn't fray. So I'm cutting those off. Because I want to fray this some. I want that ragged edge all the way around. So I just frayed it all the way around. And I have some coffee polish that we're going to put over top of that. But we're going to glue this down. So this is a really quick, easy project. If you want to whip something out real fast for somebody. Hold that down because his body is still a little damp. So we're going to get done this really quick. I do have another project we could start. So I have some Coffee Podge. It's just coffee and Mod Podge. And I think this one I watered down some because it's really thin. But I'm going to put this right over top of the flag just to age it just a little bit more. The Mod Podge in this is going to make it stiff too. And stop it from fraying anymore. No, I didn't use a pattern. I just took my fabric and started cutting it. So I have a jute that I knotted and just frayed the edges. This is his tail. But I can draw out a pattern if somebody wants it. I'm being covered in cobwebs from the glue. And I have a button. That I'm going to put on the top of his head. That I put just a little bit of embroidery floss in. I need to put some more coffee on his body. So if somebody wants a pattern, let me know. I'll draw one out. And I made a hanger just from some jute that I knotted. When I put a hanger on, I always put a knot at the end. It just helps it get set in the glue a little bit. Thanks, Jackie, for answering. I'm going back through to make sure. No, Mimi, I drew it out. But if you want a pattern, let me know. But I can grab some more tea towel and show you how I did it. That may not hold because this is still a little damp. Let me see if I can get this to squirt. Oh, and now it's squirting. We wouldn't do it earlier. I want the bottom to be a little darker. Since, oh, now it stopped. Hi, Becky. Hi, Dawn. Thank you for sprinkling. I appreciate it. Either my bottle's going bad or there is coffee stuck in there. Well, thanks. So I'm just going to dab it on and then rub it in. We improvise. So I don't want any of that white showing from the dish towel. Thanks, Mimi. These are quick and easy to make. And I like the clothespins as legs. Let's see if I can get him a little drier. Here's one I did this morning. I haven't used my glue tool in a minute. It's been quite a while. If you put Vaseline on the tip of your glue tool, you won't get all those strings, which I didn't remember that until I started using it here. Thanks, Becky. Hi, Teresa. Thank you. So I'm going to glue that hanger on just a little bit better. I'm probably going to have to wait for it to dry and then glue it on because it's still a little wet. But there we go. We have a sheep. So let me push all of this aside. Get rid of some of it. And I'm going to pull the sewing machine over here because we have time. And I have been working on, is this what I have here? No, that's a pot holder. So we're going to do a pot holder. Because I have all my other projects sitting down there on the floor. So I have a chicken pot holder. Then I have all the pieces cut out. And I have real thin quilt batting. So this has tons of pieces to it. I cut this out, I don't know how long ago to make, and then we've never got to it. So it's the kind that fits on your hand. So I got to get my quilt batting and my pieces put together. I purchased this from Etsy, and her name is not written on any of these pieces. And I did it so long ago that I don't remember who she was. So I'll have to look her up. So when you're using anything that's going to be on heat, you have to use... Is that glaring? Where am I getting that glare from? Is it that? Nope. Yeah, it was. Okay. Get that little light out of the way. When you're doing anything that... Oh, Jody, here. There it is. It's our little sheep. You didn't miss it. I'll post pictures. You have to use everything cotton. Your thread, your fabric, your quilt batting, and you want to use the quilt batting that is made for heat, because otherwise you will burn your hand. Now I like to use two pieces of the quilt batting. Now this one has a silver finish on it. Now you don't have to have that, but you want to make sure that it's for heat and not just regular quilt batting. But everything has to be 100% cotton, because if you don't, thanks Jody, because if you don't use everything 100% cotton, polyester thread, any acrylic fabric, or regular quilt batting is going to melt when you put anything heat to it. So everything has to be 100% cotton. So this is my chicken's fabric. And I have, let's see, his wings are a light yellow. So those are our colors, and then his beak is just red. So we're going to sew this beak first because we have to put it in before we, just a little scrap of red I had. Oh, I just glued it. Everything is glued, Dawn. Yeah, everything is glued. And this one I put it at an angle. But it's just glued on. That's all. Just glue tool the whole project. Nothing fancy. There was no sewing in that project. In this one, yeah, there is. So I'm putting right sides together. I'm putting right sides together, trying to match us up. My eyes aren't very good today because of the migraine I had yesterday. And I'm leaving just the very tip open. So I'm going to sew both sides and then turn it. And I have you up here instead of down here. Oh, you're welcome. You like the gluing. Hi, Connie. So we have a little bit of time left. It helps if I turn it on. So we probably won't get this completed, but I'm just, make sure you backstitch. So even when I make casserole carriers, I use the heat-proof batting, because you never know. I mean, it's for hot or cold, but if you put hot, you don't want to put all this work into something and then have it, your threads start to melt, or your batting start to get, because once it melts, it gets really hard. And you don't want to put all that work into something and then ruin, and it get ruined by heat. So we're just going to turn this little guy right side out. And this is his beak. Hi, Dawn. How are you? And clip all these threads. Now this morning, that first one took me almost an hour to do. So I don't know how we got through that one so quick. So I'm just clipping my corners to get rid of some of that bulk when we turn this. So I'm just using this. I've been told it's a knitting tool. I got it in an old sewing box that I bought at a thrift store. And I've been using it to help me turn things. So we're going to put this beak in its mouth. Okay, that's the bottom. This is his head. So I'm putting it in between the two body pieces, with the opening facing the edge of the fabric. going to stitch all the way around it, leaving the bottom open. And I'm going to put a pin in there to hold that. Now, I don't sew with a whole lot of straight pins because I'm so used, whoops, I got that backwards. Good thing I caught that. I'd have had to get the seam ripper out and cut that out. You want the front of the beak to be inside the body, so when we turn it, it's on the outside of the body. Okay, I'm just going to stitch all the way around it. So if you're new to sewing, you want to use a whole bunch of pins. I'm just pinning with the pieces. So we're going to start halfway from the beak to the body, because we have to put the insert in it to fit over your hand. Good thing this was sitting here. So I'm just using a straight stitch all the way around it. Slow that down some. So I have his comb pinned in. I have the beak pinned in. So I told you in the beginning there wasn't going to be any sewing. I lied. So when you're turning your fabric, always lift your presser foot, leave your needle down. That way you don't lose your stitches. I'm just turning his head to make sure that I got this. So, yep. So all the curves you need to clip so that when you turn it, it'll lay right. And especially any inside curves like this, you really want to clip, because if you don't, it never will turn right. You will always have a bunch of fabric, your fabric all bunched up there. Now I'm missing all the comments, aren't I? I'm glad. I didn't think too many people would hop on right now. So, yeah, we have 14 people watching. That's good. So there's his comb and his little beak we just did. And see how smooth when you turn it? Everything lays flat. If you didn't clip those curves, all this fabric would be bunched up. So we're going to take our bottom. Now the bottom doesn't have, and put the right side together, it doesn't have any batting in this. The why doesn't it? It should. Let me grab some. It should, because that's what's going to be on your pan. So let me cut 2 pieces of it. It's probably laying over there. I just don't see it. So I buy this by the bolt. but you can buy it by the yard. Good thing that was close. So we're going to put right sides of our fabric together. And we have 2 pieces of the batting. And we're leaving an opening up here. Since I don't have the picture here, I sew a lot of times instead of following the pattern, I go by the picture. So we're going to sew around each of these and to the center a little bit. And then we're going to flip these. So we're sewing 2 pieces separately. A lot of times when I get a pattern that isn't mine, I change it anyway. That's how I cook too. I get a recipe and I normally just look at the ingredients and then throw everything together without measuring. So this is going to be a pot holder for those of you who just hopped on, and we're not going to get it finished. I didn't think so, but we'll get it started. But isn't that going to be cute? When I saw that, this is just scrap fabric I have. When I saw that, I thought that'd make a really cute chicken. So then I went looking for a chicken pattern. Like, I don't have enough. I went and bought one. I have a 4-drawer filing cabinet and a 2-drawer full, totally full of patterns. That's what you get when you sew for 600 years. That's a joke on my page. I said that one time in a video, and my followers have not let me live that down yet. Okay, so we're going to turn these. Oh, that's good. 19 people. That's good. You guys keep track for me. I appreciate that. Hi, Natalie. So we're going to turn this. Whoops, we're going to clip our curves and take the bulk out of our corners, because this is all a curve. So up after me, you want to, we're going all day today. This is an event. You want to stay on all day long. So you want to stay on, and you can just refresh your page and watch the next presenter. So it's Art by Tammy Lassiter is up after me. So maybe I should have done this project first, huh? So I appreciate you all hopping on here today and watching and giving everybody support. Whoops, I missed that fabric altogether. Let me sew that. So when I'm turning something that I've sewn, when I need to, I always run my finger along the sewn edge to make sure that I've got all those edges caught in the thread. Because when I first started sewing, I would turn it something right side out and then have to turn it again. Turn it back around because I didn't catch all the layers of the fabric in. So these are the wings. So I have 2 layers of wings and 1 of the batting, and we're going to stitch these. And I need to leave an opening on the bottom. Sometimes when you're sewing little things and you miss part of your fabric, it's really hard to turn it again to get all the pieces sewn together. So I always run my finger along before I turn something right side out to check that. Let's get the other wing. I don't always buy PDF patterns because sometimes they say they're for beginners. And if I'm showing something on my page, I want it to be for a beginner. And sometimes those patterns, the directions aren't right, or something's missing. Because I've had patterns I've had to figure out myself. So if you make dolls and stuffed animals, you pretty much can do that. But if they're advertising a beginner pattern, it should be for a beginner. I had a follower purchase a pattern. It was an overseas pattern. She sent it to me for me to figure out for her. And I wasn't able to figure it out. When I do a pattern, I always give it to somebody else to sew to see if there's any flaws in it. Because sometimes I think, oh, they'll understand what this says, and they don't. Or the person that drafts my patterns and prints them out for me leaves stuff out. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Natalie, for sprinkling. I appreciate that. So this is a wing. So we are at a time. Go watch the next presenter, and I will follow you over there and watch. I'll be watching all day, except when I run to the post office, because now my headache is gone. But I appreciate all of you for joining, for hopping on with me, for sprinkling, for giving me the hearts. I appreciate that. Hi, Brenda. You caught me right at the end. Thank you, Mimi. And if you're waiting on a package, you'll be getting your tracking thing today. I couldn't think of the name of it. Oh, hi, Michelle. Thank you for sprinkling. So if you're not a member of the group, please join it. Go watch Art by... Oh, name just slipped my head. I'm so sorry. I should have things written down, and I don't. But thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I apologize that I forgot who's coming up after me. It's one of those days I'm having the hangover from the migraine, and my brain's not functioning. God bless all of you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I will put this chicken together while I'm watching everybody else, and I will post a picture of it. God bless you. Have a great day.